Am I the eye-hole for calling my sister irresponsible and no longer letting her visit over a plant? On mobile, so sorry for formatting. My friend told me about this sub, so I decided to ask here. Throw away so my family doesn't find it. Also long, sorry. Me, 26 female, and my husband, 27 male, have a daughter, 6 female, who we have recently been trying to teach more responsibility to. We decided we didn't want to get a pet, even a goldfish, because it was unfair if it died, and after some thinking we brought up the idea to my daughter of growing her own plant. She was thrilled with the idea, so the next day we took her to get some seeds. She chose sweet pea seeds and took to caring for her plant better than we expected. It grew really quickly and was thriving quite well considering the tools she had, and soon she was showing a strong interest in gardening. We started calling her Sweet Pea, important later, because of her project, and every day she's tell us of the news with her plant. Recently I got news that my grandmother had passed away and we had to fly out to her funeral. My sister, 22 female, never talked to her and didn't want to attend the funeral, so I decided to ask her to look after my daughter's plant while we were out for the week. She agreed and we brought the plant over. My daughter kissed it goodbye and asked her to please take good care of it. My sister said she would, and though everything was fine until we got back. When I went to get the plant, my sister said, "Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that," and left. She brought the pot out and the stem was somehow snapped and it was wilted. My daughter ran crying to the car and I yelled at her for forgetting it and being irresponsible. She said I could just buy her another one, but I said that wasn't the point and left. She hasn't apologized since. I've since been no contact with her and refused to let he visit. She's done other stuff like this in the past because she likes to act as if she's 18, and I've listened to my parents when they told me to let it go, but this time she really hurt my daughter. My parents are now saying it's just a plant, and I'm being ridiculous for holding a grudge. My daughter has been extremely sad since the incident and has lost interest in gardening, even asked us to stop calling her Sweet Pea, which breaks my heart. So Reddit, I ask you AITA, I hate to see my daughter like this, but I'm not sure if I'm overreacting. Verdict, not the asshole. Relevant comments. 101 Geese. Info. Did your sister know the story of the plant and the name before taking the plant? OOP. Yes, I told my daughter I'd be there in a minute, Sweet Pea, after she handed my sister the plant and then told her about the name and how important the plant was to her. My sister thought it was sweet and said goodbye, so I think she acknowledged the importance. Top comment, Mace Nutmeg. As an avid gardener, I think you should still grow plants with your daughter. The reality of gardening is that plants die constantly. It's basically what they do. But they're still a lot of fun. Things that can help are growing multiple plants. If one dies, you still have to water the others. Take this opportunity to explain to your daughter that even when things go wrong, she can pick up and try again. One plant death is not a reason to give up on something she loves. Acknowledge that she's upset about her first plant, but that there are many more great plants in her future. Grow edible plants. Microgreens are basically tiny lettuce. They are ready to harvest in 2 to 4 weeks, and they are incredibly nutritious. It's fun, it's easy, and your daughter can learn to handle plant death. Get a pothos plant. They're basically unkillable. You can leave it at home alone during your 4-week vacation, no problem. I'll say NTA as a general judgment, but I think you can pull this back to being a more positive experience for your daughter. She will take cues from you on how to handle this emotionally. Right now, you're really upset at your sister, so your daughter is very upset about the plant. Taking this as an opportunity to get some more plants could really turn things around. OOP. This sounds like a great idea. I feel heartbroken and hurt seeing her like this, so I'll try and have a conversation with her about plant life cycles and maybe take her back to the store to pick up some nice plant pots, gardening tools, and seeds. Hopefully that will cheer up her mood a bit. Update, October 8th, 2020. Some of you had been asking for an update, and since my last post, some good and bad things happened that I should write about. After I had some time to cool off from the events at my sister's and read all the comments, I realized I was overreacting a little bit. I understand now that it was my fault to let my sister handle something that was so important to my daughter, and so after she had a bit of time to grieve her plant, I wasn't going to rush her feelings. We had a conversation of plant life cycles. I talked to her about how plants, even in the most well-cared for circumstances, can pass away, and I told her how proud I was that she took care of her plant as well as she did. After a bit of pep talk, she seemed ready to have a go at it again, and so we took her to the garden shop again where she picked out her own tools, soil, pots, gloves, and lots of different plant seeds. We also got her some vegetable and fruit seeds like some of you suggested so that she could eat what she's grown, which she's really excited for. As for my sister, after a week of posting, I went over to try and explain why the plant meant so much to my daughter and how it couldn't be so easily replaced. I'm sad to say that she once again lectured me on how it was just a plant and that they die all the time. I also got a text from my parents about how they thought I was mature enough to just let go of something so stupid. I realized that they aren't going to change their minds on the subject and that I should just move on. So I've decided to drop the topic with them, but I have decided never to let my sister handle anything of value, especially if it's my daughter's. I have since apologized to my daughter about the sweet pea, and we hugged it out. We also took the suggestion to use the old sweet pea as compost for a new one so that the old plant is still with us. Overall, it's a happy ending. My daughter is feeling better than ever, has given names to all her plants. She is 12 now and 2 succulents, takes care of them just as well as the old sweet pea, and has even gone back to requesting we call her sweet pea again, which I almost cried tears of joy when she asked that. Thank you to all the suggestions given and the people who offered to send seeds through for my daughter, as well to the people who helped me realize my mistakes. I'm also glad to say we have found a potential plant sitter in the future. My husband's coworker is very keen on plants and has a very green thumb just like my daughter. Also, at this rate, we're considering setting up an indoor sanctuary for the plants when it gets too cold in winter to bring them outside. So glad things turned out well in the end. Everyone's happy, the plants have already started sprouting, and life has never been better.